if you were advising her, would you recommend that she be a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience?
No. Kamala Harris hasn't been exposed to a free-rolling conversation in her time in elected office. And that's because when she rolls, frankly, she rolls all over the place.
Which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and still recovering from watching cackling Kamala dish out word salad that not only didn't answer the questions that she needed to answer last night, but really said nothing. And it left me thinking, there is no way this woman goes on Joe Rogan or the All In podcast, which apparently Donald Trump has agreed to do, at least, well, obviously the Joe Rogan one, which is filming tomorrow. He's on his way to Texas right now. I don't know if he's going to be on the All In podcast, I assume. But now it appears that she has completely chickened out of doing the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know if they're just throwing their arms up or what the case is, but this is what I can say. Vote early, in person. If you haven't voted today, go vote today and bring at least one other person. Look, if you can't bring anyone with you, still go vote, okay? But then badger your family and then pretend that you didn't vote and then go with them so make sure they go, figure out a way to get them to go. I don't care how good things feel like they're going. Vote like we're down 10. And I want to start the chicken out video hilariously by looking at what I thought these eyeballs would literally never, ever see. Never see. I didn't think I would ever see this. Donald Trump is literally one positive poll away from leading in the aggregate on Real Clear Politics. As long as I've been covering this election, now maybe if I go back to like when Joe Biden was, completely out of it, in the days, weeks before, if you look at this, you could see Trump did lead. Trump did lead by, call it what, 3 points over Biden. He led by, I would say 3 points at his all-time highest. No more than 1. 3.3, 3.4. That was his all-time biggest lead over Biden. And he has never once, since Kamala Harris took over, led in national polling. Now, he still doesn't now. But look at these last 4 polls with really only probably one more round of polling coming through. Rasmussen, Trump +3. And by the way, this is national vote. This isn't odds of winning the election. This is the popular vote. Rasmussen, Trump +3. Forbes, Trump +2. CNBC, Trump +2. And the Wall Street Journal, Trump +3. Harris now leads in the national popular poll by an aggregate of 0.2. In 2024, Hillary Clinton led by 5.5 and 1, and Joe Biden led by 8. Now, does this mean anything? No. You must go vote. But directionally, the velocity of this, okay, that is encouraging. And Lord, please give me, once people get hope, they're going to show up in droves. We can do this if we show up. That's how people will feel. And if he can start to pull ahead in the next set of polls this week and actually take the lead nationally, he's got a shot. If we look at Polymarket, it's kind of been sporadic the last couple days, but Trump still maintains a 24-point lead. Now, last night, when they tried to smear him with he's a dictator, he's a fascist, which we're going to talk about in another video later, with all the highlights, which are hilarious, he did dip a little bit. during the town hall, I think he still maintained at his lead never really dropped below 20. But now, the next day, the way the media has been covering it, okay, he dropped to 60%. Today, so far, he's up 2.5 points, and she's down 2.5. The spread is now almost 25 points with 10 days or so to go to the election. Then, by the way, if you made it this far in the video, I have a big announcement coming later today. I hopefully am going to be able to hire 2 new on-air personalities, people that you know, people that you like. And the way I'm doing it is by pushing my website's memberships. Go to thequartering.com/join. In exchange for joining, you get 3 members-only videos per week, starring Luke Rudkowski, Melanie Mack, Styx, and perhaps the new potential employee. You also get exclusive discounts, 20% off Coffee Brand Coffee. I'm working on an ammo discount. 15% off Anton's Biltong, 30% off Sheath. All my there's going to be a special Meta PCs one. Okay, that alone should cover. Plus, you also get access to the members. We have a free Discord and we have a members Discord. I'll leave the free link to the free one in the description too. The free Discord is for everybody. In the members Discord, I'm in both, but you get to message me directly. People in the comments will tell you I'm in there. I'm replying to people every single day, sometimes at 2 in-the-morning. So please support us so we can find a home for some of these people who just lost their jobs at the, some cutback time. Now, so quartering.com/join. I think we're 95. We're 93 members away from being able to make the official announcement. Breaking, Kamala Harris has reportedly declined interview with Joe Rogan and the All In podcast, according to David Sachs. Joe Rogan probably told her she wasn't allowed to use a teleprompter in the podcast interview. I mean, I don't know. You see this Kamala Harris slipping with podcast audience as Trump takes on Rogan. So there's panic now that she's chickened out on this. An overwhelming majority of Americans say they haven't heard either Vice President Kamala Harris or President Trump on a podcast, according to a poll. However, those who have heard the 2 candidates say they are far more likely to vote for Trump after his appearances than Harris. That sentence alone is maybe the most brutal indictment of how unlikable this woman is. Like, we know she's unlikable. We know, okay? But this is what, if you've been watching my live stream, which is every day at 1 Eastern over on Quartercast on YouTube or on Rumble, you would know that I said, and everybody said, just let her talk. Please let her talk. That's why she's been in hiding. Now that she's been talking, people hate her because she is awful in every conceivable way. The extraordinarily tight 2024 election has seen both Democratic and Republican nominees embrace the non-traditional means of reaching new audiences, with podcasts emerging as one of the top formats. Despite their efforts, USA Today and Suffolk University poll of 1,000 likely voters released Wednesday found an overwhelming majority of respondents had not heard either major party candidate on podcasts this election cycle. Well, to be fair, I don't listen to podcasts. I've never even listened to a podcast before. I've seen Joe Rogan clips. Harris holds a slight edge over Trump with audience numbers, with 72% of respondents saying they had not heard her on a podcast, while 77% said they hadn't heard Trump. However, podcast appearances seem to help Trump more than Harris, which is why she canceled. With 51% of respondents saying Harris' podcast appearances made them less likely to vote for her, while only 34% said that it encouraged them to support her candidacy. 13% said there was no difference. So over half of all people that hear Kamala Harris decide they don't want to vote for her. Newsweek reached out by email to the Harris and Trump campaigns for comment and confirmation on Wednesday. The U.S. podcast audience is larger than ever. Around 135 million Americans listen to podcasts at least once a month, with 15 million new listeners starting in the past year alone. I should start a podcast in my infinite free time. Here you have Resist the Mainstream citing breaking. Kamala declines invitations to appear on Joe Rogan and All In podcast. New report claims, this is from Amuse, And it was confirmed by David Sachs, who is on the All In podcast. Now, could David Sachs be speaking out of turn on Joe Rogan? I don't know. We haven't seen Joe Rogan come out to confirm that she canceled. But if she did, I mean, I don't know how else to see this. She's throwing in the towel. I don't care. I want to be like that one year when the Patriots were still throwing the ball for touchdowns when they were up 50. I don't care. We can talk about on this channel about how much of a bad look this is, and it is. Still got to vote. Still got to bring people to vote. Still have to do everything we possibly can to convince inconsistent voters to go vote. Infrequent voters, they call them. People who don't vote every election cycle, right? I'm going to hopefully go with my brother-in-law for the first time he's ever voted in his life. I think it's a cool occasion. I'm going to ask him later today if he wants to go with me. I'm going to try to bring as many people as I can to the poll, and then we're going to go have dinner. And I'm going to buy dinner, and everyone's going to have a good time. And we're all going to, bite our nails until November 5th, then probably the 6th, then probably the 7th as they try to drag it out. My thing is this. A lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to drag it out. They're going to drag it out so they can do this and do that, these shenanigans, those shenanigans. I'm saying this. If we go out and vote, even if, look, there's nothing wrong with voting on Election Day. It's just if there's any shenanigans, now you don't get another chance to vote. That's why I say vote early in person. But I want it to be so big. I want Trump to be leading by so many that the in-person votes don't even matter. Or that the early votes don't even matter. Here you see this. This is the top comment in a 2-hour Theo Von interview of J.D. Vance. I can't believe I was told this guy was weird. Most normal MFer I've ever heard talk. So J.D. Vance went on Theo Von. Trump's going on Joe Rogan. I think that'll probably be done right there. For the week leading up to the election, he basically needs to go to every battleground state, mobilize his base, and tell them to go find someone else to vote. That's what the Democrats did during the lockdowns. This is interesting. I don't see Trump's lead growing past 25% on Polymarket. I sure hope it rockets to 100, which would mean that the election's over and he won. This national polling is very concerning, I think, for their campaign. And if you just look at the battleground states, Arizona, Trump leads by 1.5. Where is this? Sorry, Nevada, Trump leads by 0.7. He's got to try to secure Nevada. I want them all, baby. Nevada and Wisconsin, literal dead heat. Get to Nevada, get to Wisconsin, get to Michigan. Now, Quinnipiac just put a poll out with a 3-point margin of error that shows Harris up 4. So, I mean, these are not over. Now, Pennsylvania, they say he has an aggregate lead of 0.6. He leads in all these states, but it's not like he's leading by 5, 10, 15 points. So he needs to pound these battleground states, mobilize his base, get them out there, and her chickening out of Rogan just may cost her the election. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. Please do consider going to thequartering.com/join. Help us grow the team, and we'll talk to you again real soon.